Peter Clarke from Temple has been catching the eye of a lot of college football fans this season. The junior tight end has been a problem for multiple teams. 20 catches, 307 yards and 4 touchdowns on the season so far. And as of now, he is the highest graded PFF tight end in college football. Clarke started at Temple in 2023, coming over from the NFL Academy. Peter is one of the first UK talents to seriously be making a dent in college football, and we will get to more of them as we get more into college football this season. His first 2 seasons at Temple were fine, nothing crazy but a few plays here and there, normal development years. But this season he has taken a step up into what could be legitimate draft buzz. For perspective, what I could find, there was zero draft or big board talk of Peter before this season, but I can imagine that'll be changing very, very soon. That being said, let's talk about Temple tight end Peter Clarke. Straight off the block, from the tape that I've seen of Peter so far, he's not dropped a single ball that was in range of his hand. What's special about this is that he is technically excellent when it comes to bringing down the ball. His hands are strong and he possesses great hand-eye coordination. He has a long catch radius and control over his 260-pound frame, which is truly impressive. Some of the catches that he has made this season are just ridiculous. There were people in the UK who suggested prior to this season that he could transition into the offensive line because of that size. And I'm glad he didn't listen. Even I was thinking about it. You know, he spent 2 seasons at Temple. He didn't get much playing time here and there, but he's 6'6", 265 pounds, well above the average of an NFL tight end. So it wasn't ridiculous to suggest that he could move inside. But I am very glad he didn't, because we have witnessed some fantastic plays this season. Blocking for Peter is not very physically challenging. He's larger than a lot of defensive ends he's playing against, and he clearly has a strength in his hands. And most importantly, he takes pride in his blocking, getting up to the second and even third levels to affect the play. He resets grappling and looks for underhooks to get under the pads of the defender. He even shows football IQ to delay the breakdowns if he needs to. He doesn't wait for defenders to come to his level like some other poor blockers. He goes and takes what he wants from them. There are aspects of his blocking that need to be cleaned up naturally, keeping his feet drive being the main one. However, blocking base is in place. With more speed, drive and maintaining his strength to an NFL level, it will enable him to be a balanced and schematically flexible player at the next level. Fucking finally, Jesus. However, the blocking base, schematical, flexible, and schematical. However, the block balanced and schematically flexible. Enable him to be a balanced. I'm very excited to see how Peter will perform athletically at his pro day or at the NFL draft, whenever it comes. He is in his junior year, and personally, with 1 year of production under his belt, I think he needs another year. His draft stock can really only go up from here. He has a bigger role, he has more impact on the offense, and more eyes than ever looking at his game at pro level potential. Short shuttle, 3-cone, and 40 are going to be the main ones the scouts are going to be looking at. They want to see him move. We can see the hands, we can see the foundations of his blocking, we can see the frame. However, there are many players with these attributes. We need to see how he moves and how he develops in his final season, and NFL scouts are going to want to see him face to face in person as well. I mentioned his hands, and part of the reason for their prevalence is that he struggles at a high level with route running and creating separation. Even on non-NFL level defensive backs and linebackers, he doesn't have the sharpness and breaks and get him that extra space for the quarterback to fit the ball into. To get into these draftable positions, he needs a bit more pop and a bit more snap in and out of his breaks. Peter is larger than the NFL average tight end, as I mentioned. And there will likely be debate about whether he should go 240, 245, or stay at his 265 pound size. And it's really a trade-off. Lighter, he could be a bit more poppy and a bit more snappy in and out of his breaks, but he might lose some of that hand strength and that blocking aspect that make him such a balanced prospect. I think if Peter declared for the NFL draft right now as a junior with his single year production, I think he's probably at best a 7th round flyer and a priority UDFA. Especially being in Temple, the Eagles aren't too far away. You get a 6'6", 265-pound tight end on a tush push. That's pretty cool. I think it is more likely that he stays for that senior season and tries to build up that stock. Highly dependent on production, highly dependent on development, highly dependent on situation. It's also highly dependent on those physical attributes. If he pops like a 4'6", like his draft stock's going to go way up. We know he can catch. We know he can block to a decent level. We know he's got the size. If he has the athletic ability, because that's still a question mark until we actually physically see him do a combine. Oof, the draft stock may go even higher. But at the moment, senior year, I reckon 5th to 7th. Right now, probably 7th to UDFA priority player. But what do you think? Where do you want Peter Clarke to go? Do you want him to stay at college at Temple? Do you want him to maybe try and enter the portal, maybe try and get NIL? Do you want him to go declare for the draft this year, declare for the draft next year? What do you think? Much appreciated. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to the channel members as well. If you want to become a channel member, go on the page. Really easy. £1 a month. Get these videos a little bit early. We're going to be going on a bit more of a college football spree. At the moment, I got this one. I've foreshadowed another evaluation I'm looking forward to doing a little bit earlier. And that's it. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time. Be safe. Have a good time. See you later. Thank you.